DoinIIMuch.TV is the hot seat. It's your boy, Mr. Peanut. Today we got my man Young Nobail. Let's go on.
Full of clips, we blow it to the ceiling. Step in the booth, spit out my feelings. True baby mamas, I'ma grind for my chillin'. Blue squad stupid, I'ma ride with my feelings. Get money, boys, and they serving out the civic. Nerves on edge when I'm smoking on a cigarette. Only way to keep calm fucking with these bigger kids. Gotta keep my head on swivel or get hit. This nigga sent you to the feds cause he got licked. Fakes a few years, now he dropping shit. I seen Young Nobail serving out the cockpit. I shook the cases, kept it moving like a mosh pit. I live my life in the trenches and I'm talking shit. 5-4. Smith. Money on swole, pistol crazy like Haitians. Mr. Losa, no bill, hunting like cavemen. Eat your beef raw, fat bitch with no patience. Flow so sick, I'm a kid eating paint chips. Whipping in the coupe, all you see is a bitch facelift. 135 East, nigga like Jason. Twisted sweet burning, got that Magic Johnson chirping. Purple and gold Chevy, West coasting like I'm surfing. Oh, what to my ninjas, got you pussy niggas nervous. Clowning all these niggas like a motherfucking circus. I'm a calm ass nigga like a duck on the surface. Mopping with the heat, nigga, front door service. It's 5 for each nigga, hope you motherfuckers heard this. If you slip up, nigga, it's funeral service.
That boy go hard, that boy go down. Don't hate the fact that they dog. He'll beat the beat up like a drum. Don't hate the fact that they dog. That boy go.
Oh, you good? I just want to say shout out to everybody out there. God bless. You know.
So where you from?
I'm from Compton, California, man. Originally born out there and raised. Been in New Mexico for about 9 years.
And what brought you out here?
I came out here, man. Went to New Mexico Highlands University on football, man, and got kicked off the team for, you know, blowing trees. Transferred down to Western. Met my second baby mama, and all bad from that point on. All bad from that point on. Straight downhill.
So how long you been making music?
I've been in the game since '97, but I've taken it seriously 2004, and I really stepped my game up after I got out the pen in '09. But in '97, that's when I started out, because I was with my cousin Danger, and he was on the Right Back album of Long Beach Dub All Stars that used to be Sublime. So my first crowd, he had me hype a crowd of 38,000 people at the Cypress Hill Smokeout. Scared the shit out of me. You know what I mean?
Kind of set your bar low, because now that's who you should be performing.
Yeah.
Crowds like that.
Yeah. I went on tour last year. I've been on about 4 tours in the last 2 years. And this last one that we went all the way to Pittsburgh, man. We had a pretty good crowd. Opened up for some big name artists. You know what I mean? They showed up. Some of them did, some of them didn't. You know what I mean? But you know how it go. Yeah, you know how it go. You never know if you don't get off the couch.
Absolutely.
You feel me?
So what made you want to pick up a mic in the first place?
Man, just like any other kid coming up in the CPT, got a story to tell, you know. But I was always an athlete, and I wasn't even thinking about doing music till I got out of the penitentiary in '09. And even then, when I got out, I was just doing it because I wanted my children to hear my voice, so they'd be proud of their pops. You know what I mean? Like, damn, Daddy, you was a music producer, you're a writer, you're a rapper, you're a football player, all kind of sorts, you know what I mean? And one of my friends heard me spitting one day, and he just told me to shut up. He was like, man, be quiet. He was like, you need to change your style up. He said, you're good, but you need to work on your metaphors and this and that. So basically in 2009, he put me in hip-hop boot camp 101. It was nothing but blunts and coffee every day. Every day, get off work, gotta smoke a blunt. And I started going through a lot of turmoil in the trenches. And my first mixtape, Living Life mixtape, chapter 1, it was just all about just living life. I just got out the pen doing 2.5 years, so I was like, fuck it, I just want to enjoy life, even though I wasn't.
And kind of tell your story at the same time.
The second one, The Life in the Trenches, chapter 2, part 1, that's my story. That's where you get to hear me. You know what I mean? Not all that glamour and glitz shit. You know, I'm in the trenches. I'm in a foxhole with an AK-47 shooting at anything moving. You know what I mean? I'm in literally life guerrilla warfare. And I made that transition. I told myself, you know what? We ain't gonna be like most of these cats that's trying to talk about big rims and big money. Cause I ain't got that shit. I got baby mama drama. I got 4 kids. I I just had a little kid that ain't even mine, you know what I mean? I'm facing charges left and right, and you know, I got a story, my ninja. I got a story, but one thing that I don't take for granted is being on stage. That's why I really picked up the mic, because I like to be in front of people.
Kind of your release right there.
Yeah, I get up there, man, I lose my marbles. I forget who I am. You know what I mean? I'm a very humble man to that.
So growing up, who would you say was like your motivation, and even to this day, as far as music life, just everything?
My motivation as a kid was Pop. And I always said Pop was my pops. He raised me. He showed me what it was like to be in the streets. What he was spitting, I was around dope dealers, you know, prostitutes, hoes, and all that, man. I was around all that. But my mama, she wasn't about that. She was old school, you know what I mean? I couldn't get out there and be out late at night kicking it. So Pac was very influential, but I grew up listening to a lot of East Coast because I like stories. You know, the Wu-Tang. Rest in peace to Guru. I had a chance to actually sit down with that man, and he spit knowledge. And shout out to Spice One, man. I met him up at Leo's that night, and me and him chopped it up. And as a kid, I listened to him. Digital Underground, DJ Quick. Most off top is DJ Quick, because that man is so smart with the music and stuff. And
You're doing it
for years, man, for years. And then just my mom, because she knew that I was a very talented writer, because I can't freestyle. And everybody was like, you want to freak? Nah, dog, I don't do that, because I have too many ideas, man. My head is like a track meet. It's just constantly keep going.
I hear that.
So I got to sit down and put my ideas so I can touch them and rub on them, you know what I'm saying? Caress them and make them sound good.
Yeah.
And my mom, she always used to tell me, just sit down and write what's on your mind, man, what's in your heart. And I've been through so much domestic violence and gang violence and stuff. I'll come home, and instead of telling my mom what I went through, I'll just write stories out, you know? So that was my influence right there, you know? Just TV and music. Prince, you know what I mean? Who else did she use? Michael Jackson, you know, those cats. Because I was always intrigued of, how do y'all put these stories together? How can you get these words to rhyme with these words and tell what you have to tell without sounding stupid? And as I grew, I just developed. I don't know. I just woke up one morning in about 2010, and God was like, "All right, I think you're ready." And I just started putting my story together. You know what I mean?
So describe yourself in 3 words.
3 words. Okay. Humble. Bipolar. And worldly.
So you have the opportunity to work with anybody, artists, producers, anybody in the industry. Who would you most like to work with?
In the game now?
Yeah. Even upcoming, like people that you've come across, you know, doing the tours that you've done and stuff like that.
Alright, damn, that's a good question. I came across a lot in the game right now that I'm looking up to, and but when God gives me the chance to meet this man, it's Jim Jones. His style, his swag, his business savvy, and his music, you know, it's different. I consider myself off-brand. You know, I'm not the normal cat, you know what I mean? I would love to work with that man.
If you're watching Jim Jones, hit him up.
Jim Jones, holla at me. Vampire, holla at your boy. But if I production, it'll be DJ Quick. That's real talk. Shout out to DJ Quick, because his music is that type where even your grandma can listen to the beat. You know what I mean?
You can just like ride around listening.
Yeah, just listening to it. Even if you don't even understand what he's saying in his mouth, his beats alone is so melodic. It's crazy, because he comes from that R&B era. But when I was on tour, the person that I would want to work with would probably be Yo Gotti, because when he was a very humble dude. Of course, he was shining. You know, his style of music is totally different from mine, but to see that man blinged out, you know what I'm saying, just iced out everywhere and sitting in the club and not trying to act an ass in front of people. He was very laid back, and I told myself when I get the chance, I'd like to work with him. I definitely like to work, but definitely Scarface. Scarface, real talk. I love to work with him.
So aside from music, what other hobbies do you have? What do you do outside of the booth?
Outside the booth, I got my own clothing line, man. I'm an entre broke nigga. You know what I mean? I'm trying to have my own everything. I'm working on my own clothing line, 5 feet each, Nobel, oh what, t-shirts. I got my baby, oh what, onesies. I got my arming garments for the ladies. I'm working on my jeans right now. Excuse me. The hats and all that, that's swap meet stuff. But I'm going to the big thing. I'm trying to get my shoe game going, my own shoe line going, and I'm really on that Master P. You know, I'm like a mixed gumbo right now. I'm on my Master P, Drake, Young Jeezy tip.
Get in every avenue.
In every avenue, you know, you got to show these people that you're very diverse. You can't just be stuck in one genre of doing anything. And besides that, man, just enjoying life. Because after I took that 2.5-year hiatus, man, from being a college athlete to a prisoner, and not in jail, not county jail, where you can still call your mama and bail out. I'm talking about a set date. When they give you 1,000 days and you're like, damn, 1,000 days, I can't count that far of days. And after that, I just told myself, I'm going to enjoy life. I'm going to live life to the fullest with no regrets. Be around family, be around friends, positive people, you know what I mean? And just be a good father. That's one thing. You know, my dad wasn't around when I was a kid. I had to listen to music, but I just had, you know, my son is 1.5 years, my only son, and I just want to give back to him. And my other 3 daughters. I got 3 daughters. I got my oldest is 14. She'll be 14 in November. Alexis, I love you, baby. Kamari Mentors, she's 7.5. She'll be 8 in August. Love you, baby. You know. And then I got my little tyrant, my little twin, Zanaya. Look, spitting in me. Yeah. She's 6. She just turned 6 in February. I love you, baby. And then my son Isaiah is 1.5 years. And I just want them to show that no matter what I've been through, no matter what you go through, you never give up to this world, you know. Be positive. You know, I give all thanks to God. Because without him, I'd still either be in the pen or I'd be dead. For beating somebody up or just losing my cool, you know what I mean? Like I said, I was raised by Pop, so, you know, my mentality is already like, look, nigga, you step on my toes, I'm gonna kick your teeth in. Ain't gonna be no in between. And then my other hobby is just talking to the homeless. You know, I'm a very community type person. I love talking to bums and homeless people, people that's outside of my realm, and the kids. I wanna go back to coaching, you know, and counsel the kids because I feel like I am an icon in their eyes, even though I'm not at that level of making millions, but what I've been through, I can tell them, look, man, it ain't that type of party, man. You got a better life. So that's my other hobby. That's what I'm really digging into is starting my own lupus foundation and doing something for the kids. But with a criminal background, you know, that's a high obstacle to get over, but it ain't impossible.
So kind of speaking on that, since you have gone through all that, what kind of advice would you give to, say, aspiring artists, or even artists that kind of glorify being locked up, and kind of, you know what I'm talking about? Yeah. What would you tell them?
A real talk, man, being locked up and being a prisoner and being a caged animal, that shit ain't fly. You know what I mean? Don't be proud of that. That don't make you. Because if you let that make you, you're gonna return back to it.
It's gonna break you.
Yes, and that's one thing. When I was locked up, I told myself, not never. Because once you say never, God is funny. He's the biggest comedian ever. Just say, I won't. Because when you say, I won't, you won't. When you say, I never, he'll make it. Don't glorify about being locked up in a pen. If you do glorify it in a positive way. You know what I mean? Let the kid, we've all done wrong. We've all been locked up, either the pen or jail. But let that show you that that's an evil world, that you don't want your brother, your sister, your girlfriend, your boyfriend, your son, your daughter. You don't want them to go through that, man. You don't want to wear the same color for years and months, you know what I mean? You don't want to be waking up when you don't want to wake up. We need to bring back the 90s style of music. And that's just real talk. Because that was the essence of music, you know what I mean? It was real. Everybody had a story to tell in different ways. But when they took the two greatest off this earth, man, I ain't saying it's watered down, but, you know, of course it changed because it's inevitable. But we got the youth and they're growing up too fast. Too fast. You know, got 12-year-olds. I didn't even have a cell phone when I was 12, let alone, you know what I mean, trying to be on Facebook or anything like that. And the generation of runners is growing up too fast. And if you're going to be an artist, you cannot think of yourself as, what's the word that he used? You can't think of yourself as just a solo entity. Because as soon as you say that you want to be a rapper, rhymer, entertainer, and you step in that booth, it's no longer about you. Because somebody else is going to be listening to what you got to say. Some people like it, some people don't. Hey, that's just the way it goes.
Gotta take the bad with the good.
Yeah. But we gotta start digging back down to the generation, because now everybody wants to be a rapper. When I was coming up, nobody wanted to be a rapper. You know what I mean? Everybody wanted to be in the league, football, basketball. Now everybody and their grandma want to be a rapper, from 2 to 85. You know?
Yeah.
Just gotta start taking it more serious, man. You know what I mean? Be more business savvy, because being an artist, we already are looked at wrong by society because of what is being portrayed on TV. You know, if you tell them you're an artist, first instinct they come to their head, oh, you rap like Lil Wayne? Hell no. I ain't on that level. You know, oh, you sound like Jay-Z? Nope, I ain't on that level either. I'm just me, I'm doing me. You know what I mean? But so many cats get in this game and fall under that facade of the glamour and glitz. You know, them pretty women.
Yeah.
When that camera cut off, everybody's leaving. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. So if anybody wants to get in touch with you as far as fans, people for features, if anybody just wants to chop it up with you, get some knowledge from you, where can they get hold of you?
You can find me on www.facebook.com/Young Nobail. That's YUNGNOBAIL. Nobail is one word. And then on every social network, Twitter, Facebook, Nobail, www.nobail.blogspot.com. I got my Reverb Nation. That's also www.reverbnation.com/Young Nobail. You can download all my music on www.soundcloud.com/Young-Nobail. You can find me on YouTube, and pretty much, if you're following me, you already know I'm always in the calles, like they say out in New Mexico, but I'm always in the streets. If you see me walking, because I hate driving, I like walking because I like to see the scenery. I ain't from here. So just holler at me. If you want to talk to me, call me, 424-704-1235. I'm just like Mike Jones, you feel me? There go the number. Holler at your boy. You know what I mean? But if you want to feature, email me at number 5 IVE, the number 4 OE, capital EACH @gmail.com. So that's 54each @gmail.com. Holler at me. I'm the most humblest cat ever. I don't charge nobody for none of that, because it's love. This music is a child and it takes a village. You feel me? That's how I see it. I ain't gonna be like Lil Wayne and be like, oh man, I'm not showing up unless it's 125,000. Nah, man, nah. Even if I do make it to that level, I'll still be a humble cat, because I've lost too much in my life to be worried about small stuff like that. You know what I mean?
What would you say is your biggest pet peeve?
Pet peeve? Ignorance. Ignorance. And if y'all don't know what ignorance is, look it up. And that's real talk. And ignorance is not a person. It's a verb for describing a behavior pattern. You're ignorant if you don't want to pick up a book and find out what you don't know. That's ignorance. That's my biggest pet peeve. And I deal with a lot of it. As you know, as an artist, you deal with a lot of ignorance. From artists, from fans, from promoters, from producers. It's a lot of ignorance, you know what I mean? And that's just the way our society has been built. You know? People don't know, they're ignorant. I'm ignorant to a lot of things, but I'm not to to the point where I won't pick up a book and read up on it. Shout out to New Mexico because I found out about y'all squatting laws. Good looking out.
So you were saying you had the clothing coming up. What other projects you got coming up? And I know you said you had a show coming up.
Yeah, I got a show down in Alamogordo with Shama Jackson down there. August 28th, I'll be at the Palmside Club. I'm working on another tour to put together. It's gonna be the Show Up and Show Out tour. It's gonna have me, Late Tip, P.D. Sinatra, Al Key, and my boy Stomper. That's all the artists that I'm representing up under Five for Each camp. And then I'm linked with the HOL camp, so that's Young Invent, Payne, and a couple of other artists, Jay Lyric and all them. And right now he has a good link for the Hip Hop Honors Awards. So we're working on that, and then I'm dropping Living Life Mixtape Volume 2, Chapter 2, Part 1, October 31st, Halloween night, and it may be my last one, because this game is just tiring, man, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to be rich. I just want to
Be successful.
just be successful, you know what I mean? And I got the clothing line coming out, and I'm also working on an anti-bullying tour in high school. That's another thing, because I'm gonna tell y'all young cats, hey, where I'm from, we ain't had no bullies. So y'all getting away with all this bully stuff, man, it ain't the fly thing, because we got 11-year-olds killing themselves, hanging themselves, you know? This is my niece right here, she's 12 years old. You know what I mean? 12 years old, you ain't supposed to be thinking that way. You know what I mean? So that anti-bullying thing is one big thing that I'm working on, and I want to pull all the artists together and make a move on that. And then the other project I'm working on, it may sound funny, it may sound strange, but I'm doing the opposite of Exhibit. You know what I mean? Exhibit is from Albuquerque. He don't give no claims, no props to it, and I see why. Y'all gotta stop all that goddamn hating, man, out here. Real talk. Stop hating each other. Everybody doing the same thing, man. It's time to come together like butt cheeks, man, and let's make it happen. Nobody knows about Albuquerque or New Mexico unless it's in the Chicano rap, and you know, that's not, I'm not putting it down, but that's not the main focus in hip hop right now. So if you want that to be the main focus, you gotta come together as a community. You gotta stop hating on each other. From the north to the south to the east to the west, in New Mexico, there's so many people out here, and this is an untapped market. It's an untapped market, you know what I'm saying? So all the adventures that I'm doing, like the shows and stuff and the tours, I'm taking New Mexico artists with me. You know, I took Al Key, he's from Silver City, New Mexico, Late Tip and P.D. Sinatra, all three of them. But I'm taking them with me. When I took Al Key on tour last year, he was in Pittsburgh, and he's a freestyle artist and he's a good writer. Well, we back there backstage chilling. It was for the Yo Gotti show. He got to freestyling and doing his little thing, and Cass was asking, like, where you from? He was like, man, I'm from Silver City, New Mexico. They was like, well, where's New Mexico? And I was like, man, I said, see, that's respect, dog. You ain't gotta go and be, oh, I'll shoot up the club and I'll get out faded. Man, if you handle your skills, the skills will show, and people will respect that, man. So that's my message to New Mexico, man, is just stop hating on each other. You know what I mean? Because ain't nobody gonna win. You feel me? Ain't nobody gonna win. I got a lot of projects coming out, you know. Plan on linking up with you more, you know what I mean? Working hard. I met you, 2 years ago? You know what I mean? So God is great. God is great.
Is there anybody that you wanna shout out, say what's up to?
Yeah, shout out to Monster Mac, you know, TKE. Shout out to Mr. Los at Slap Your Lips Entertainment. You know, today's his birthday too. Happy birthday, little nigga. He looked just like, I put a picture up on Facebook. It looks like Bob Marley back in the days. Shout out to my brother, to all my Five for Each family, friends, and fans. I love y'all. Without y'all, there wouldn't be no me. There wouldn't even be no music. Shout out to both my baby mamas. You know what I mean? No love lost on my end. Shout out to my kids, you know, I love you guys very much. Isaiah, Kamari, and Zanaya, I love y'all very much. And even to Dahani, because it ain't your fault to be in this world. Shout out to Corey Reeves, Deneen Reeves, Angel Garcia, and my niece right here, Felicia. You know, without them, I wouldn't even be here. Shout out to my boy Nut right here. You know, I've been on him for 2 years, man. And, you know, like I said, the skills speak for itself. He seen me performing, man. And, you know, we both took different paths, but back here. Shout out to HOL gang, H gang, Young Invent, the whole camp out there for putting us on, you know what I'm saying, looking out for us. Man, I got so many people. Shout out to my brother El Patron and Elite Transportation out there in California. He's driving all the stars. Shout out to Marcus, Darnell, Kenny, and most of all, shout out to my mama. May she rest in peace. And God up there, because they playing dominoes and drinking pink panties, and I'll be up there. Not soon, hopefully, but I'll be up there. And then another thing is, oh what? Shout out to all my ninjas locked down. Shout out Child Call, because I know how that life is. Shout out to all the homeless people, because I've been there, still am, you know what I mean? And just shout out to all the good people, you know what I mean? You know, get your heads right, pick up a book and read, get off your text messages, because you ain't gonna learn shit. And that's pretty much it. I hope I didn't miss nobody. If I did, I'm sorry, I love you all. You know what I mean? Shout out to all my beautiful women. Shout out to all the single moms. Shout out to all the fathers, real talk. That's another thing. Shout out to all the fathers who love their children and is trying to be in their lives, and you got a janky ass baby mama. I'm already knowing what you're going through. Keep your heads up, because the tsunami waters will never stop. That's pretty much it. Shout out to Compton, Hub City, and Albuquerque, Duke City Don. Holla at your boy. Boy Dirt, holla at you. You know what I mean? I seen you through town, and pretty much that's it. That's pretty much it.
It's been a hot seat, man. Appreciate you coming on.
Thanks, Hot Seat. You already know. Got more coming to you.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.